to Man Up For What podcast.
Oi,
Come on,
come back.
How are we all doing today, lads?
All good, man. It's been a long old day.
Friday feelings all round. Good vibrations.
I mean, great vibrations because Vash ain't here making all.
Way!
We've got a quick announcement to make. Vash is being kicked off the pod. So you're just here with us four lads today. Obviously, you've got man like Dave without the Santan. To my left.
Arch, that way.
Patel bringing the spice here. JKH, trap conscious.
And anyone who's obviously got the visuals, Cage, do you want to explain why you're wearing a three-piece today?
We put him on the spot. So in my day job, the CEO has asked us to wear suits on a Friday. So pretty much just did a quick trip to Primark right before my shift. You gotta save money to make more money, right?
I mean, yeah. No, fair play. I mean, it looks good for Primark.
Yeah,
mate.
that's
So,
I couldn't tell that's Primark.
Yeah, good luck after you wash it.
it's going to be true size.
It's the
then.
only time you're going to wear that.
But no, I mean, obviously, guys, thanks again for tuning in to Man Up For What pod. Today's episode, topic is going to be about success and what us as men define as success and how it's affected us growing up and our mental health. So I think probably one thing we're going to start with is just obviously defining success. I think it's always obviously a good place to start. So success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose.
So it said the dictionary definition is it's achieving an aim or objective that you set for yourself.
Yeah, so the accomplishment of an aim or purpose.
Well, in personal life wise, it's like my aim or purpose has changed like the older I've gotten. It's changed from like what it was when I was a kid to like teen to like young adult. With defining success, you don't know what place you're gonna be in like 5-10 years time, because you could achieve like the things you considered as success, but that's no longer like that valuable to you at that stage in your life. So it's difficult to define, innit? I don't know. That's just what I'm trying to say, I guess, innit?
I mean, what would you class as success now?
Okay, financial security. Mm-hmm. Financial security, like not having to depend on anyone other than myself. Mm-hmm. To be stable. Pay bills and put a bit aside in savings and still like try and incorporate having fun.
Yeah.
Do you remember that list you had where it was like 5 or 7 things listed that you took care of in like a month, or was it a week? Like you had a day for like family and stuff, friends and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember that list on the inside of your?
Yeah. Oh, that was part of a goal setting plan.
Yeah.
So it was the 6 Fs.
Yeah.
So it's family, friends, fun, finance. And there was 2 more Fs, but essentially
there was like freedom of like creative, like allowing your
yeah. So that's What is that? What you're following now, or is that?
Yeah, like that's like because when I saw that, I was like, that's probably like. Because everyone's different, and the way I like when I look at myself, I'm like, I'm not too much like materially driven, or even just driven in terms of career.
Yeah.
Like a career, this is what I'd love to like work towards. Yeah. Like at this stage of my life, that might come later, innit? But yeah, while I'm not at that stage, I thought if I just look at success from a different perspective of like all those other things. Make sure I've got a healthy social life, that I'm at least able to look after like myself for now, like financially, and still save a bit. And then like hit those other things, like fitness as well. Fitness was one of them as well. I'm into fitness. I'm incorporating the mental well-being and all that other stuff, like nutrition. Like I've started to get better at cooking. So that's something that I've like I'm valuing that quite a lot, and it's saving me money as well, actually. So that's why it's probably a bit long-winded, but that's what, like, how I'm trying to view success right now. But that's just me. That might not work for everyone else. And some people need that carrot to chase. Like, I need to get to this position and have this thing. And it's sick. Like, if you achieve that, props to you, innit? Because it ain't easy. But my thing is like a bit different, success-wise.
Yeah, very, very simplistic way of looking at it.
Yeah. Because I haven't got that big thing that I've got clearly defined in my head of what I want to aim for. So, like, I'm trying to work towards that and get there, but in the meantime, I shouldn't, like, not focus on developing the other areas of my life, which, you know, a lot of these millionaires and billionaires say anyway is the most important, which is, like, family, friends, and, like, relationships with loved ones.
Yeah.
So Dave's like, I might as well, like, focus on that as well. Like,
yeah. No, that's fair enough. I think we'll probably come back to obviously how it's affected you mentally. But obviously it's good to obviously see what your vision of success is.
For me, I think it's probably, like Archie's saying, changed throughout the years. When I was at school, I would say the main aim or success that's probably driven into you is getting into uni, probably.
Yeah.
And for me, whether that was personally from my side or from my parents' side, it was always drilled into me. Getting to uni is classed as a success. So that was already in my head, so accomplished that.
Sorry, was there like a set of unis or uni or something?
Yeah, for me, it was a set of unis that I wanted to strive for myself. Yeah. So I wanted to go to a Russell Group uni. Not that it means anything now that I've learned. It doesn't actually mean anything. But I wanted to go to a Russell Group uni, which I luckily managed to do myself. So
no, not luckily, but...
So, so that was a goal in a way. And if you can call it a success at that stage. I remember when I got my A-level results, I was mad gassed and I was like, yes, finally, success, done it. Yeah. Mumsy was proud, all of them bits there. So that was during school times. And then after uni, I think I probably lost my way a little bit in terms of what I wanted to do career-wise, but always knew I wanted to go to the environmental sustainability aspect of life. So getting into a role in that bit was difficult at the beginning because I got an admin role. So I was like, I went to this uni, did all this mad stuff and didn't get the role I wanted, kind of thing. So then I felt like, I wouldn't say failure, but it felt like a setback to success or to achieving my goals. Then obviously you learn that reality, real world, you don't just walk into a high level job. It doesn't work like that. How it's set out in academia, it takes a bit of graft, it takes a bit of know-how, experience, legwork, talking to the right people, stuff. And then, I think I got to a position now where I would say at the present day, wouldn't say success, but I would say I was content. I would say I was content with where I am at the moment. But for me, success now, I see it in 3 different things. So financial security, health, and financial security and health. So having both of those, in my mind, will be success, personally.
Okay. No, that's another good insight. And obviously it's a bit different where I think you're not career, but you kind of had things you're going for.
Yeah.
The carrot, so to speak.
Yeah.
And obviously, man like Cage.
So mine's very personal. If any of you lot don't know, I'm a music artist and spoken word artist.
Jeez.
I've always wanted to do music since I was young. I started writing poetry when I was young, because I felt it was one of the ways to like express myself, especially growing up where it was quite hard to express how we feel, like the pressure of being a man, So started writing poetry. Then eventually I started to create music. I got inspired by the people on the playground, and then just started writing more. And so at the beginning, like my definition of success from that age was to be is to be a big star, right, in music. But then going back to what Archie was saying, it changes over time. So as much as I do wanna make it big in music, like my objective has changed a little bit. Like mine's more about helping people, inspiring people, to get through life mentally, mental healing as well, and also for me personally, like success to me in terms of music, the main goal is to be financially free, not having to rely on a job anymore, and to be able to inspire more artists as well and people. So that's one of my goals. Going going back to what we were saying about how certain things affect like my journey to success is that when you're young, you believe you can do anything. Like no one can ever tell you, like when you're young, like you believe you can do anything. Like you feel like you're the best at everything you do. Same thing pretty much with like most of my peers who played football. Like they all believed that they were the best, But then I guess that as you're older, like we're like Play-Doh, right? And then like we kind of let the opinions of other people kind of mold us like clay, And
Poetry there.
yeah. yeah, appreciate. And a lot of us end up like not following our goals or not following our purpose, and then a lot of us like lose self-belief, and then it can be a thing that like either you don't know what success is, or you don't know what your purpose is, or you feel that success success to you is based on someone else's dreams for you. Not everybody wants to go to university, but like it's our parents that make you want to go.
I never did.
100%. And obviously, I don't want to cut you short, but I want to. Obviously, we're going to get back into that because that's going to delve into how that's affecting people's mental health. So, obviously, with your journeys, particularly chasing music, I'm sure you've got a lot of ups and downs that would have affected you. But I see obviously there's a common theme in the finance element for men, and obviously quickly touching upon what I define success. For me as a kid, obviously that old typical uni, get a good job, get money, be financially stable to support the rest of the family. That's always been what I define as success. But then now, like my definition of success is really and truly just waking up and being happy, and actually being happy doing whatever you're doing is waking up and being happy doing that thing. And for me now, I actually don't feel like I'm successful just because I don't have that feeling. Yeah. But whereas obviously beforehand, it was make as much money as you can, get the nicest stuff, have them just materialistic and career wise. Even now career wise, like I'm not really classing that as any success, but that's my quick overview of success. And I think because we all kind of demonstrated the finance element was something. So was there ever a point where you felt a mental instability or mental struggle that you weren't reaching that financial position that you wanted to be in?
For me, it's been very different from...
Oh, what's up, Bola?
No, it's been different.
The cash flow over here, isn't it?
It's been different for me because it's always been drilled in to me from a very young age that you should always have money.
I remember him saving peas during school times.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
he had peas. Bro.
I was drilled from that age.
He had a good lunch money, mate.
That's what I'm saying.
But you got £3, you saved the 2, use 1.
See, but that's the mentality. I
was scrambling for a pound, trying to get chicken and chips.
My pound, you're getting bougie. 20p, bro.
20p Freddo, bro.
Don't be 10p.
Every day.
It's got to stack up, mate.
But yeah, I think it was drilled in for me from a young age to always have money, or like to save money, because I think my parents knew from when they were trying to save money that it was going to be a very difficult thing to achieve. And like nothing to hide. None of my parents are working in a mad industry, or they're not industry leaders. They're just working a normal 9-to-5 job like everyone else is. And my dad pretty much stopped working early. So then it was all on my mum, the burden. So then it was kind of drilled into me and my brother, you need to save money, because if you don't save money, there's going to be no peace for you, basically. So I've always had that mentality to save money. So I haven't felt pressured financially, but I've put pressure on myself financially. So I've not done things like or bought things that I might have wanted to do because I'm like, I need to save money. And that's always been the strongest desire in my head.
And how's that made you feel?
When I was younger, it made me feel a type of way, like, why the fuck should I be doing this? No one else is doing this. Like, why have I got to do this? And it wasn't even that deep, because if I wanted to, I could have just spent it. But something was drilled into me that, don't do it, and I never did, kind of thing. So I kind of regret that in terms of just maybe living a little bit more and not fucking saving all the money, because money's just money. You can't do anything with it.
That now,
It's not. It's just money. It's just money. You can't do anything with it. There you go. But now getting to this age, I feel like it's helped me Because now if I, for example, say, God forbid, I lost my job, I have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
Or like something happened and I need to delve into money, I have the money to do it now. So I feel like now it's provided me with like a safe haven almost in my mind. So mentally it's positive for me now.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel like it's securing that early finance is giving me a better mental state now.
But then what, you just had the mental pressures on yourself of like missing out on buying stuff in...
Yeah, like not just buying stuff, experiences mainly. Like I could have traveled more, could have gone on more things. Like I like even in uni, like I think I did one uni field trip, but I didn't go to one of them because I just like, no, it's a waste of money. Yeah. But it's not really. You're experiencing something, and those years or that experience you can never get back, no matter what you did after.
Yeah.
So now I know that, but back then I didn't know that. So all that student finance, I should have just blown it.
But do you know what was like? So he's got that, that feeling of I could have spent a bit more, but I got the opposite feeling.
Take my money.
I got the opposite feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I should have. Yeah, maybe I should have saved a bit more. Like, like for example, the times when I think about living at home, and I was actually earning peas, I was like, for the life of me, I can't think what I spent that money on. Like, it's just mad. Like, so, and that makes me feel a type of way. Yeah. I was like, fuck that, you know what I mean? Makes me feel a type of way. But yeah, you got the opposite of that.
And then what, mentally as well for you, has that been something?
Yeah, because you do kind of beat yourself up about it in terms of like, no man, it's like, yeah, there's having fun, but you didn't show enough respect to the money as well, like, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. And it's just like, yeah, man, it's jarring to think about it because it's kind of like a regret, innit? Oh, like, if only I saved up a bit of money, I'd be a bit nicer now. So yeah, it's like a regret that I do think about sometimes, yeah.
Because obviously, one of your things was financially, but you also obviously, because you for instance, you didn't have the carrot.
Yeah.
So like mentally, how did that, or does that affect you that you don't have something that you're chasing?
Because it like that affects me in a way of like kind of like my self-esteem, I guess you could say, because now I'm questioning my drive and my commitment to things and like my discipline, and these are all the things that seed of financial insecurities it makes you think about and question within yourself. So yeah, that is something that I deal with that now still. That's a constant thing, innit? It's a constant thing, and it's a jarring. It's like a draining feeling that you kind of lose motivation. It's like that kind of feeling. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. So for me, me and finances, I'm pretty much in the middle of both of you. So for me, when I was younger, I spent, I didn't really finish college because I was going through a phase where I was focused more on surviving, innit? I wasn't going through the best moment in my life, innit? But I was surviving, innit? And it got to a point where the only thing I could really think about was surviving as well. And at the same time, I'm going through that transition into becoming an adult as well, which isn't simple. It's not a simple thing. And as an artist as well, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So because I spent I spent quite the majority of my adult life like not being financially in a good financial space, in it. So then I eventually got to a point in my life where I thought, I'm just gonna have to keep my head down and just try work hard, work extra hours, doing different jobs, like to get myself out of this spot of just surviving, because I hated not being able to see my friends a lot, enough, not being able to even have not even being able to afford certain things for my music and this and that, innit? But there's a lot of people focus on trying to get from 0 to 100, but they're not trying to. But a lot of people forget about trying to work from 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 50. Like there was one moment in my life here where I thought, I just moved out to this new place, and then I thought being able to afford a mattress was a goal, innit? Like for real, it was a goal. It was a goal. You know, it was a goal. Like I tried my best to not focus on you know, on the stuff that you see on Instagram, like people enjoying like their new car and that, man. I'm trying to
Enjoy a mattress.
Seen a mattress.
I'm trying to enjoy
That Simba thing.
because you know it's like a lot of us human beings, we don't appreciate the littlest things we have. But if you can't appreciate the littlest things you have, like how can you appreciate the biggest things you have? That's why a lot of people become so ungrateful.
Hey, shout out Skepta, blacklisted.
Right.
Bro, for
It's
real, real
the
talk.
simple life that
Say
I'm
that for me.
dreaming about.
For real, yeah. So going back to like me going out from my survival stage, it got to a point where I'm financially no longer in a
Small bother.
So, but then it got to a point where I felt like I wanted to catch up. I wanted to catch up with stuff that I missed out on, innit? So I felt like, let me just stack harder. Let me find other ways to make money, because, you know, like for us, especially men, and when you live by yourself, your personal finances, it affects your self-esteem, it affects your confidence, bro. I feel like I want to have a heart attack, like when I ain't got when I was in that situation. But then one thing I want to say to other creatives and even like athletes as well, don't feel like you have to compromise certain things when your main purpose and your goal is more important. Because this is how a lot of people end up like not following their dreams or getting sidetracked. For real, man.
Because one thing, because obviously with your thing, it's obviously probably less the finance, but more because your success, your dream chasing goal is music. So was there ever a point where you felt like you weren't achieving that, and how did that make you feel mentally?
Oh yeah, man. It was tough, man. Like going places, trying to reach out to the right connections, and like getting declined, and you know, not getting to hear, not getting heard back. Like, of course, man, there's been times where like I had like mad breakdowns and that, innit? You know, but I felt like I used that, you know, as a way to write my story, you know, to write better lyrics and write better poetry. You feel me? So for me, like at the moment, as much as money is a big thing, you know, I kind of transferred. I kind of changed my way of like success at the moment, or like one of my big goals, into trying to chase happiness in it. And then I think eventually the money will just come eventually, man, because like we can't spend the rest of our life chasing money. You know?
That's a trap. That's what they call it, rat race.
Yeah, for real. Don't get me wrong. Like money's great, but like at the end of the day, money's a tool, and we need to like try to learn to not allow money to control our emotions, because like that's how people like don't have like mental thresholds in it, and that's how people end up like trying to expect to go from 0 to 100, man. You feel me?
I'll say probably for me that was my like downfall, and what probably affected me a lot mentally, because my thing was the stereotypical get a good job, make money, buy stuff. So like I'm always just chasing.
One thing after the other, yeah.
And I was very much driven by the finances instead of like the satisfaction. And like obviously working in sales as well is obviously that work hard, play hard thing. And obviously, as you mentioned, obviously the opposite of Priyash. Instead of saving, I would make the money, go and spunk it all. Payday, I'll do the same thing again. And I definitely got into that vicious cycle where it was, I didn't really value what I was doing, but because it was paying well, I just saw the green envy sort of thing. And mentally, I then obviously would be comparing myself to like, obviously I went to University of Kent, and a lot of my friends either done business or pharmacy. And obviously all these have come out uni with like sick pays, and then obviously I went through a phase where I went into real estate, so I had to take a less of a basic. So I kind of felt like I took a step back in my career, and then that affected me mentally, because I felt like, oh shit, now I need to catch up again. So it was a mental struggle of trying to keep up with materialistic things and chasing that career status and that pay. And that was a struggle, because I always just felt that I wasn't doing what I was meant to be doing.
You're just doing it for the one goal, which is finances, not making you happy. But like the underlying thing that's coming out of all of this is be happy. That's what we're saying. So
of course,
all of this stuff we're talking about, all the stuff we're chasing and defining success, ultimately success can only now, and when I get older, I think it's when you mature, you understand, can only be attained when you are happy. No matter what you're doing, if you're happy, you are successful now. Because everything else resonates when you're happy as well. Everything else starts to flow and your mental state changes and your mentality changes. So like you're saying, you're going through those things, those stages, but you weren't happy. And that's why you were never fulfilled.
Yeah.
But now you're realizing that and you're obviously changing and doing different things like we all are. So
Yeah, no, it's a good point you make about obviously it all boils down to your happiness essentially. And I think one thing I wanted to touch upon as well is obviously the society pressures on how that defines our success. And I think Archie, obviously when we spoke about this obviously off camera, you had a good point to make about obviously how the visualization of your viewpoint on how people determine if you're successful or not.
I don't know, I just clocked it more the older I got as well. So I'd be viewed as unsuccessful in like certain people's like I guess income bracket or whatever. Like there's enough people that I'm unsuccessful to. Like if you were to compare the average of people that's out there, there's enough people there I'm more unsuccessful than. But I'd say like I'm better off than like what 70-80% of the people in the world, like really. Like so yeah, I just deep stuff like that when I go back to my country and I'm just like with my cousins or just some like old mates and stuff, and like they'd kill to be in the position I'm in. Like, do you know what I'm saying? With all the opportunities that's at my door, the education that I've had, insignificant as that might seem to a lot of people here that have went like through the same thing or whatever, but it's still like those two different spectrums. It's still like a good way to look at things, and it's how I try to judge my success in it.
Yeah.
So like mix that feeling of wanting to progress and get a bit more with also like a bit of like gratitude and contentment for what I do have in it, which is quite a lot, like to be fair, in it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think speaking from, you're saying community aspect, but there's also obviously a cultural pressure that puts pressure on success as well. And if I speak from that angle, I would say, as I was saying before, I would define myself as like successful at the moment or where I am in life. But if you put it into someone else's perspective, for example, you say my mum, I don't think she would see it as success. And that's because that's just her values of what she thinks I should be doing in terms of career, financially, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But so for her, I don't think she thinks I'm successful. So that's obviously mentally challenging for me because it's like a catch-22 because my brain's telling me you're doing well, blah, 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 compared to X, Y, and Z. You've got a good job, this and that. But then the one fulfillment you're looking for in your parents, for example, is not happening. So I'm not saying she thinks like that, but that's how that is in my head.
She's a lovely woman, by the way.
Yeah, mom's not evil. She's just trying to strive me to be better rich and that, innit? So yeah. No, I'm joking. But yeah.
Yeah, you see, you know it is, yeah. Going back to what we were saying, how we easily start comparing ourselves with other people, you know. One of the best ways you can get around it or get over it is, you know, we only look at the iceberg.
Jeez, the poetry's about to stop.
We only look at the iceberg, you know. Even when you see people who look successful on Instagram, you don't know what's in their mind. You know, like you don't know if they're comparing something about themselves to you. Like you don't know if there's something that they're insecure about or an insecurity that they're hiding behind, like that nice car or nice picture that you have, for example. You know, and this goes back to happiness, right? You know, someone could be driving a nice car, but envy the happiness that somebody who doesn't care about cars have. You know what I'm saying? Like especially in music, for example, right? A lot of artists who look big on Gram daily with their nice cars, who visually look successful, but you don't know if they're mentally successful. Like you know, they envy like normal people like us because they don't have the freedom of like not having to watch over their shoulder and that. You know, for real.
Would you say, like, obviously in music, Is that ever like had a pressure on you mentally?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Like I did go through a phase where I felt like I had to compromise with my sound and my image. You know, I felt like, but I guess I experienced it. You know, I felt like I had to, try to appeal more by compromising, like having like a rented model in one of my videos and that. But you know what? Like I realized how like I didn't feel happy inside, didn't it? You know, I felt like the main listeners who I was trying to build, which is more about like my healing and mental stuff. Like it wasn't for them, innit? You know, yeah. So it goes back to internal happiness, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I feel like that's something we can all agree on. Like, success is happiness.
And now you know, because you've tried to attain all the other things, and you're like, this is not it.
You've completed life, like.
And in all honesty, like I know as men, you know, us, the majority of our confidence comes from, and self-esteem comes from money and that. But then like the real confidence and self-esteem, you know, can come from like being happy and like knowing that even though you're not exactly where you want to be, but the fact that you're able to work on it.
I mean, I fully agree with that. I feel like right now in life, I would definitely rather be waking up happy with whatever I'm doing than making a lot of money doing something I hate.
That's the nail on the head right there.
Yeah.
Because you're doing that for 8 hours a day. It's affecting your mental health massively.
Yeah, mate, 100%.
Like, end of the day, if you're not happy doing that, you're drained. You're, 8 o'clock, I'll do this again.
Yeah.
And you don't get paid to the end of the month. That's a long ass month.
Oh, mate, thank God it's Friday, mate.
and going back to my point of when I felt like I had to save, I asked myself, like, you know, like what am I really saving for? You know, like I could be putting this more into my craft and into my art, you feel me? And then the real money will just naturally come later.
Like I don't feel like so we've mentioned money a lot as like a stress factor, but like it's not even money per se. It's like how you're viewed to other people, like how you think you're viewed to other people. Is a lot to do with, because you want to get more money and a flash car and clothes and such because of how you're viewed to other people, right? How other people view you. It's not necessarily a money thing. I don't know if you got money, you could be just dressed like a certain way and you're looking like the bollocks, innit? So, that's what like I've, and obviously there's some people that do, mental health like can affect everyone differently, but I rarely make myself feel bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of times I think about what other people think of me that makes me feel
It is that. It's always that. For me, it's always that as well.
What my mum thinks of me, what my friends may think of me, what my colleagues may think of me.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Because I'm quite alright with where I'm at. Like I can't lie, and I don't know if it's bad to say that or if I'm showing.
No, but that's the whole thing. If you're happy,
like complacency, or because you fear that you're showing complacency as well. That's another thing with success. Like you don't want to feel complacent.
Yeah.
You want to feel content,
but you don't want to feel complacent. Absolutely.
You don't want to feel complacent, but
that's where like a lot of my negative self-talk and things like that stem from a place where I feel like I'm being complacent because of how I'm viewed by other people, according to me.
It's a mental struggle that you have to fight with.
It is, but also like don't feel like you're being complacent, because you know at the same time you should also spend some time appreciating like that step that you got to, because if you think about where you are now, you know is a lot better than probably like where you were like 3 months ago. You know, like for us human beings, like we want things fast, innit? Like it's good to have that momentum, but you see like the same thing goes for like a lot of traders and crypto investors and all that.
Sponsorship, mate.
That's another story.
Like we feel, and even as an artist, like seeing your views go up, you know, like it affects your mental threshold. You feel like, right, like, this is normal now. Like I want to keep seeing this, you know. Yeah. But then, like for example, like I saw my Instagram like grow rapidly, innit? Yeah. But then when it slowed down, you know, like my mental threshold wasn't able to comprehend that. You know, it's something I would have never thought. But it's quite weird, but yeah. And then I kind of struggled mentally, feeling like shit, like.
The love got taken away.
Like what's this low engagement? Like, is my stuff?
Why are people not liking my posts?
You know, for real, for real.
You can't get like that because you've had massive influx.
For real, innit? For real. So yeah, that's why, like, you know, I urge people to appreciate every step of the moment. The more steps you expect to take in such a quick amount of time, the same amount of steps that you can't be surprised that you'll be taking back.
I mean, he's loaded of poetry tonight, isn't it?
It's coming out. Coming out now.
But I mean, no, it's a great point you make. Because obviously, as you even compared, when you go back to your country, he's from Georgia, by the way, just to chuck it out there. It's that element of being grateful for what you actually have. Because when you actually compare it to others who are in less fortunate positions, you do. You can do.
You're probably in the top 10% in the world. Like,
no, it's true. It's true.
And it's all luck. Is where you. But the fact that your parents come here or whatever. I was born here, so for me, I could have born anywhere else. It's just luck. It's pure luck.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That's that like survival's guilt that a lot of like say soldiers and even like them like from hood and like that kind of stuff that they say, oh, like how come I got lucky like that and man got out and. Yeah, like, so I feel like that as well when I go back home.
Yeah, you feel like, man, damn.
How come I got lucky? Yeah.
I mean, thanks, Mumsy, mate.
Yeah.
But because even like one thing I've been doing recently is just when I wake up, I just say thank you for like things I have. Because I watch on some YouTube things. You know that thing when you wake up on like a Monday morning and then you go on your Instagram, you're seeing people out on holiday or doing something nicer and you're like, for fuck's sake. I'm about to go sign on and fucking deal with...
Team's call. 9 a.m. sharpish.
Deal with these fuckers, mate.
Monday blues.
But then, like, I found it when I actually gave thanks to what I had, it was like, okay, let me reset the mind sort of thing.
That's it.
So I think that's something I would recommend. It's
a common thing people do, and it's very important to do that as well because it just gives your mind time to reset and appreciate.
It's prayer, but if some people are sensitive to such a word, then just give thanks, innit?
Yeah, you gotta give thanks, man, for real. Like you gotta appreciate every little moment, man, for real. You know, going back to what you're saying about seeing people on holiday, like, well, not just holiday, but even people celebrating or. Looking like they're celebrating on Instagram.
Living in it.
Yeah, like living. Like some people are doing it to escape the pressure, but not intentionally to live their life and try and enjoy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the holiday is temporary, innit? You go on holiday 2 weeks, come back, and you've got that stress again of work.
Right, don't put it like that. It makes it sound depressing.
It's sort of mindset. It's either you can think like that or feel like, yes, I needed that. Yes, I'm motivated to want to be great again.
I never feel like that.
Something Stephen Covey, again, like the book that you recommended, Dave, like one thing that he said in there that was interesting was he said like it's not too much good to have like a holiday mindset as like a thing of as like a carrot of I'm gonna grind here and then now I can live. Like you need to like incorporate that living aspect into the majority of your days, innit? Like you can't just be set off for like a month. Okay, I de-stress, I can switch off, I can enjoy my life, like because you're giving yourself too much of a small like window there, innit?
It's almost like a high because it's like
it's like a drug or something.
It is because there's gonna be a come down from doing that. You're gonna be euphoria, and then the come down is gonna be massive.
You see, if you're gymming and that, like if you're on a diet, they say it should never be too strict because when you have your cheat day, you're gonna way overdo it to such an extent that you'll bring it back to a point where you would have been better off just not dieting at all. So it's that kind of thing of like. The damage that happens when you're coming back, the holiday blues, like the first couple days when you're back from holiday, you're like, oh fuck man, this is shit. This stinks.
Been there, mate.
We all have, innit? It's a jarring one, innit? So he was just saying, yeah, like try live a day, try plan your day and week and month in such a way where you incorporate them aspects throughout the course of the year, as opposed to like just a few weeks in the summer where you don't beat yourself up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense because the holiday blues.
It's a stinker.
That gives you a.
It's a stinker, mental. Man. It's like, oh, fuck, man. Back to the grind.
It happened. But I mean, I found this topic quite interesting. Don't know about you chaps.
Yeah, it's an important topic to raise, man, because I'm sure people are thinking the same way we're all thinking, and everyone's questioning what it means to be successful and stuff. So it's good to get everyone's perspective on it, and hopefully whatever we've talked about people can resonate with as well.
Yeah. But just like to finish off with, is there any, like, each man around the table, is there anything like that you feel, I don't know, aids in your ability to like keep like an open view on success, or like deal with like not succeeding or feeling like you haven't succeeded? Like, are you less hard on yourself now, or is there like a coping mechanism, or like just a thing that you do?
It's simple for me. The older I get, I just don't care as much anymore. That sounds a bit blasé, but what I'm saying is take everything with a pinch of salt, innit? Like don't take everything like, oh shit, it's stressing me out. Oh, I've come to an end. Oh, what's gonna...
The end of the world.
Yeah, because there's always a road out and there's always a view out. So I think for me, I'm just a bit like, take a step back. Oh, shit happens. We'll deal with it. We'll move to the next objective. So yeah, a little carefree attitude doesn't hurt anyone.
You know what? Yeah, a lot of people don't big themselves up enough, man. Like for real, real talk. A lot of people don't big themselves up. Like sometimes when I'm feeling down, I'll look for either like one of the littlest things, that like one achievement, like like the mattress thing, bro, and bro, like these things big me up, you know, for real
life though, man.
Because bro, like the only person who really believes in you, like, exactly. And can make these things happen is yourself, man. And in all honesty, it's all in demand, bro. You know, for real. But yeah, another thing we can aid in, sorry, my bro, is also like, I recommend that writing down everything, or writing down all your thoughts, because like when you don't write things down, you know, your mind is so full and you haven't got no space. It's like imagining trying to memorize everybody's phone numbers. You can't do that, bro. Yeah. You know, you can't do that, and your man ain't got no space to create new ideas. Yeah. And in other words, what I'm trying to say is avoid things that are distractions and are toxic to you and in the way of your success or personal development. Yeah. You know, for real.
I think, well, for me, in obviously aiding success, for me has changed. Obviously, like Priya said, as you get older. So for me, it's definitely just focusing on the present and taking each day as it comes, and giving thanks to what I have when I wake up on that day, instead of looking ahead and saying I want to have this and that. I'll just give thanks what I've got today. I'll do with it today, and we go from there. You know.
What was that? I heard something again. I can't remember if it's from that Stephen Covey book, but it's like don't focus too much on your wants. Like, I want to like focus more on giving, like what you can give. Like, obviously you can give thanks, you can give support, help, all these kind of things. Like you can give more of yourself to everything that you do. Yeah. And that's like a better way to, like, because we see as success as want. But if you see it as give, it's like you can still achieve the same. You can achieve the same thing. But it's like the mindset and approach is a bit different. It's healthier. Yeah, it's a bit healthier. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Yeah, and in all honesty, like, I feel like I get a lot more when I actually give, compared to like trying to keep everything to myself.
More satisfaction.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hear that. Well, at least obviously we've given these lovely listeners some great things to take home, and hopefully it's helped you. It's hopefully given you some insight into how we define success, and how it's affected us mentally. And I hope you enjoyed the episode, and don't forget to like,
share,
comments,
subscribe.
share all of that.
Give us the feedback.
Everything.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep listening.
Do you want me to stay the host and we can sack off Ash?
Yeah, man, you got my vote, son.
We can make out. We can make out. Who's Ash?
I don't know, man.
Fuck him. Thanks for listening.